Saltburn Review. Emerald Fennell's latest has an undeniable life force despite its split personality. Telluride Film Festival. The haves and have-nots of Great Britain always have served as ripe subject matter for writers of every stripe, and the tradition continues in Saltburn, a vibrant if rather familiar take on the class system circa 2006. Emerald Fennell, following up on her Oscar-winning script for Promising Young Woman, reveals a strong hand behind the camera, even if the trajectory of the story feels rather overwrought and familiar. Nonetheless, the writing is alive and often amusing, giving the fine cast a lot to play with. At the center of things is Oliver Quick, a name of which Dickens certainly would have approved. Very engagingly played by Barry Keoghan, who broke through last year in The Banshees of Inisherin, Oliver is a teenager without parents whose looks are both odd and appealing and who is determined to break through the class and expectations barrier to make something of himself. He's obviously one shrewd and sharp kid who, with no social advantages whatsoever, manages to get into Oxford. Fennell spends a good deal of time laying out Oliver's lively and sometimes brash character and crams her sets and locations with an unusual amount of boisterous characters. One easily could imagine the director taking on a Dickens novel and stuffing her film with as many colorful characters as possible. She paints with a bold confidence and enthusiasm that takes notice of everything that's happening on screen while managing not to crowd Oliver out for too long. What Oliver doesn't know is what he might do during the approaching summer. But he's noticed by rich boy Felix Catton, the notably handsome Jacob Elordi, and in short order is invited to stay at his family's stupendously large country mansion for the summer. What poor boy could refuse such an offer? So far so good. Oliver is received with open arms by Felix's father, Sir James Catton, Richard E. Grant, and with somewhat less enthusiasm by his mother Elspeth, Rosamund Pike. The film rather abruptly changes tone here. You get the feeling that Elspeth has seen countless such guests come and go over the years, and so she hardly makes a fuss. Then there's the odd choice to have Grant wildly overact, something this wonderful actor has never done. The film then moves into more questionable areas, hitting a register that seems meant to be comic eccentric but, in the event, upsets the tone the film has maintained up to this point. This change of performance style significantly alters the film's personality, and it's as if the other actors seem to have followed suit by osmosis, moving into a register that was meant to be amusingly odd but comes off as somewhat phony, in another key entirely. The film's big set piece is a nocturnal Midsummer Night's Dream party of staggering magnitude, which is part of the point but also somewhat alters the fine balance the first half has carried off. It's not that the film loses its way, exactly, but it doesn't engage and fully carry Oliver with it. Rather than gain further momentum toward the end, it slightly overstays its welcome and doesn't maintain the total involvement it had achieved. In the leading role, Keoghan shows a fine range, from unconnected kid lacking sufficient care to resourceful brainiac who, with a bit of luck, could go very far in life. Aside from the wrong-turn conception of Grant's character, the performances are finely judged. What's notable here is Fennell's undeniable, perhaps even insatiable desire to pack everything she can think of into the film, to propel the urgency, determinism and undeniable life force that is evident throughout. If she can maintain this level of enthusiasm and creative smarts, avoid the temptation to go Hollywood, take the lucre and direct the latest Marvel concoction, she looks to be off on an excellent trajectory.